addressing the issue of parking by the football field, which is probably gonna be a real.
That's gonna be the one that they're digging there.
Quite honestly, you already have a ordinance against it.
I know, they wouldn't let anybody for a long time.
That's me. Wait a minute.
You're good.
Yeah, we've had that ordinance for,
It's been in, Diane had it enforced.
Yeah, and
Years.
Why don't we have
it's enforced all the time. I
There is.
think that,
There's one sign, the other's got taken down.
Oh, yeah, well, I think we need some.
then I think they started getting lax.
It was
and just
enforced,
kind
it
of-
wasn't a problem. Literally, we would go out the first day of school and check the teachers. And it's school. And that was at Diane's, she was a stickler for that, no parking. She got a variance, or they got a variance during the construction.
I don't know what.
Diane told us she didn't.
But I could do
That
that.
they could park there during the construction back years ago.
Like
Here, you
2017,
need to sign.
18.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's this?
We just
Oh,
sign.
yeah. well, So we stopped enforcing it and then.
The
Never
school
have
got
been.
built and then it
And then
kind
I never knew anything about it until Brian comes in my office and goes, you know, there's an ordinance.
I knew about it, I just figured it was another thing to not enforce.
what are we doing?
She had,
You know, one of those code. type of
there were
About
two things
having
she was
the
passionate
senior-
about.
All right.
Sign years. But Wagner's, we were after Wagner's.
Yeah, I remember her chewing on Wagner
Yes.
for parking in the road,
Yep.
and then, but now she's got her grandson's pickup
Yes.
that's broke down in the road.
Just snuck up behind him.
Approximate
I
number
wouldn't
of
have
years.
so much
Oh, I
trouble
don't.
with his pickup if it actually ran it.
I'll look at it.
It's okay.
Oh, okay.
I asked.
Okay.
Really simple for tonight.
We may as well,
Had some ideas and.
Perfect.
cool, so it is after 6, so we may as well get started.
Yep,
Yeah,
you're
and I
live,
heard
you're,
you said yesterday.
everything's being recorded, we're on
Berlin
YouTube.
should be here too.
and Andrew
Yeah.
is online, Andrew Barthel's online,
Oh, is he?
Justin didn't,
He's
Can
in
you-
Baker.
is that where Justin is?
Can
Are you
hear
sure?
him?
I thought I saw him,
Well, he muted us, he'll say something or text me if.
I thought I saw him over at the
He's
at the
sitting on
fire
weekend.
hall.
You're on weekend.
Oh, it could have been somebody else that just looked like Justin.
No, it was
They all
one of
have
their, it was
face-
one of the workers. It looked like,
Oh,
Justin.
was
I
it?
thought that was Justin too. And I thought, oh, I'm supposed to.
He's
be there.
he's up there at Baker.
Okay,
All
so,
right.
welcome everyone. Thank you for everybody for volunteering to be on the committee and help us out with this. So as you guys know, we've got some issues, concerns, whatever we have with traffic and vehicle and pedestrian and traffic around the school, and parking and things like that that have kind of come up since the pre-right turn incident. So thank you, Dave, for that. And Scott, can't keep you out of it. But anyway, I guess the thing tonight that I would like to do is just kind of go around the room and see what everybody thinks, kind of what you guys think the issues are, what you've heard the issues are, what you've seen the issues are. Not that we need to necessarily address how to fix them tonight, but let's kind of identify the problem areas and then go home, think about it. And then at the next meeting, let's start, kind of attacking some of that stuff if we can. So I don't know where we want to start. Raymond would be a good one. You see it every single day. So I see you guys made some changes with drop off and things like that. So I don't know how that's working, but hopefully well.
We'll find people who follow it.
Isn't that the truth?
Well, that is true.
We got called every name in the book this morning for one fair. Walk the drop off way to let get out.
Oh, you can stop in the public road now. Huh, I didn't know that.
Along with
in the
a
law.
whole bunch of F-bombs. Anyway, wow.
Yeah, well,
Before Victorville these days.
yes.
For the most part, getting people to circle around and getting all the traffic kind of going one direction
Mhm.
is allowing things to flow a lot smoother. We're not having as many U-turns in the middle of the road. So I had one of those this morning too. But still, we're getting that. The parents are appreciating it actually better because there's a designated spot they can pull and they can go. So for the most part, that's going well.
So are they they're driving all the way around to get the right direction to get in?
Yes, that way they drop off and go straight out.
Right.
And you don't have as much crisscrossing there in front,
Right.
and kids aren't crossing the road as much to get into the school.
So are they like making a left-hand turn and going all the way around, coming up the front that way?
No, they're going by the school and taking a right by the playground,
Oh, okay.
coming around the whole block.
Yeah, okay.
And then coming back up in front of the school facing north, dropping
Gotcha.
off there and then continuing out of town.
Do they just go past the playground and then in, or go all the way around and then back?
So the elementary will pull right in next to the playground and drop off at the
Yes.
playground. High school, junior high, we're asking them to go all the way around the block, come in front of the school and drop off in front of the school. Allows us to have 2 drop-off points, reduce the congestion in one spot. With high school and junior high starting earlier than elementary starts, it kind of separates the traffic too of who's where. So we're not trying to slam everybody in one spot.
So the elementary, when they drop off by the playground,
Mhm.
do they come back to Jerome, or do they continue on out to the Reith Road and back that
So
way?
they're either way there. So that we've just
Either-
asked them to use that. We have not said it's a one-way. We've asked them to use that as a one-way. On Garfield, is it Garfield that's behind the school?
Garfield College and Perry.
Yeah, Garfield
Yeah,
College and
that
Perry to
U.
use that U as a one-way. Just to help when they're backing out, so they know that everything's always coming from one way. It seems to. And it narrows quite a bit in there too. And so especially after school, when that's where the bus pickup is behind the school there. If everybody's using that as a one-way, it tends to flow everything a lot well. And then once they come back out, they can turn left and head back north, or they can turn right and go back out Reith, or whichever way they want to. And once we have the final plans for the addition back behind where the athletic complex is, back right there behind College and Perry and Garfield, there's going to be a lot more parking there as well. Right now, I think we're up to over 100 parking stalls that'll be back in there to reduce parking issues, parking congestion, and all of that as well.
So how many cars are coming from out of town?
Don't count the cars, I'm sorry.
There's enough that I want to get out of town.
Well, we know
before they
we've-
start.
Whatever, my front F on where they're out of district.
There you go. That's an easy one. So we know we've got a significant amount of traffic from out of town, and that's why we're seeing more vehicles around the school, which is causing, the school wasn't designed for that amount of, or the roads weren't designed for that amount of traffic necessarily. They're expecting the kids to either be bused or walked, for the most part, and that's kind of
So
changed.
even a large
So-
number don't ride a bus.
Exactly,
Their
right.
parents drive too.
These day and age, I used to walk several blocks to elementary school along a 4-lane road.
And
And nowadays, you don't see that, right? Because people are,
we've kept a count
different-
every morning so far, how many kids have used the crosswalk in front of the school coming from any part of town. Whether they're crossing where they shouldn't cross down by the football field area, or crossing right there at the crosswalk in front of the school.
the one at
On the
the
road.
corner or.
Yep, on the corner,
Yeah, okay.
14 on average per day, students. That's all.
Cross
Cross at the
Fields.
cross.
at the crosswalk or
Or,
anywhere else.
or even,
for that
because
matter.
Keith's been standing there on the corner and watching down the ways too.
But they cross from the parking though, right?
Yeah,
mean,
I'm
not those
talking
people.
about at the crosswalk where
Kids
the
walking to school.
kids walking to school,
Oh,
crossing at the
I see,
crosswalk,
okay.
14 have crossed at that on average per day in the morning.
No, I had somebody tell me that knew I was coming down here. They suggested maybe we should put a fence along Kennedy Extension, clear up to the crosswalk, because a lot of the kids cross the railroad tracks right at the end of Kennedy. There's a lot of kids. I watched a lot of kids cross there.
So
Before
with the
they-
railroad,
Even with, not the walking and not the crosswalk, they just cross at the
Right.
end.
so we're gonna go ahead and move forward with part of the railroad project, well, ODOT is.
Yeah.
And so what's gonna happen, since we can't get never gonna get the bridge over the pipe dream of the bridge,
Yeah.
they're gonna move forward with a $2 million nice crosswalk across there with concrete and the whole 9 yards from across the tracks from one side to the other. And then they're gonna put a fence going south out of town. And I convinced them not to put a fence very far going north because I don't want to didn't want to have separate town, and they agreed to that.
Yeah.
So that'll force kids to come up and then cross there, and they
That's-
won't have to go all the way to Maine. And
right. That
we
was
still have the
like-
same problem of kids crawling under the train, all the things that we're worried about. However, it'll be a great big, huge, like 8 or 10 foot wide, multi-use sidewalk path all the way across there
Yeah.
with new signals and all that. They're working on that now.
Well, that's good.
So
Well, it'll
that'll
look
help.
nice when
It'll look,
it solves the
it won't solve the.
Because when the
crawling
train parks there at 3:30, then the kids are still gonna be.
Yeah.
Happy.
But that's all I can do. I could, ODOT's disasters, that's the best I can do.
We've tried to get the funding and work with the folks, and they're all about safety and whatnot, but it really comes
They
down
used
to
come
who.
down to the school, in the school for all the kids crawling under the trains.
Well, sure, they don't want to
Well, and with the sanitation package
Yeah.
this week,
going south.
they were going to take our money. And they've been sitting on that money for 4 years. So I said, no, don't take the money, just build the damn thing and use the money.
Yeah,
So.
we don't want to lose the money, so at least we can get something nicer out of it. That who knows?
So,
Might
so what I'm
encourage-
gathering from Raymond is the pedestrian traffic isn't an issue much.
The pedestrian traffic isn't the major issue, and I know there's some concerns about that, but you could put a crosswalk where you want. That doesn't mean kids are
Oh.
gonna use it.
Right.
It's just like we can put the safest places, for parents to drop it off. If they don't think it's convenient to them, they're gonna fight us on it. Sure, as someone knows, if it's not convenient in their minds and but for the most part, it seems like it's, in our opinion, so far this year, much improved, and the parents have been really good about it. For the most part, we haven't had a lot of complaining about it, I don't think. You're always gonna have some that no matter what you do are gonna complain. And the flow in and out has seemed to have gone well, but I don't know. That's just my opinion of what I've seen so far in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and I'm kind of out of that now.
Can I jump in and say something really quick?
Please do.
Hey, so since it looks like I'm one of the only people at the table that might have kids that actually go to Echo School right now, what the school has done to manage the traffic is absolutely outstanding. It is completely painless. Whether you're dropping high schoolers off or you're dropping elementary kids off, it has completely changed the way traffic comes in and out of there. It's hard to even notice the amount of traffic that comes in and out to drop kids off in the morning. I mean, I'm not held up at all, coming either way. They've done a really, really good job at figuring that out in the mornings and in the afternoons. I just wanted to say that, as a witness for what Raymond was saying.
Justin, did you have something to say, Bubba? That was Andrew talking, and he was talking about how he likes the way Raymond's got the school traffic flow going right now. So I don't know why you can't hear it. You should be able to. I'll figure out whatever IT screwed up on that one. Sorry.
So Raymond,
Okay.
so do you guys put up do you have signs or something on foldy things that kind of direct the traffic? Or
we sent out maps to all the families before.
I
school
saw that
started.
on Facebook. I just didn't
And
know.
then when they're not doing, we ask them, Keith says, do you need me to hand you another map? No,
So-
I
so-
get it. It's
so-
like, okay.
But that takes time out of Keith's day to.
No, that's part of his job in the morning is to supervise that. So in the mornings, he's out front of the school, till 7:45. Once that bell rings, and then he moves to the back at the playground area until 8. And so that's part of his duty in the morning. And so he's usually out there every morning, and then he goes out back, and that's what he does every morning. And somebody brought him a vest today. He even had a vest on.
So I have a question for you. I've heard complaints about student drivers passing people on the hill. Um, Oh, it wasn't
It
student?
was a student driver, and we've heard those, but I don't know, other than letting law enforcement know, I have no control over a student driving
No,
to and from school.
And I understand that, but what I'm saying is if you found out it was a student driver who was a repeat offender, would they still be allowed to drive to school?
Yes, I can't.
You can't do that.
I can't tell a student they can't drive to school anymore. I have no rights to do that.
Okay.
If they're doing issues on our school property, I could say you can't park on school property. But I don't have any authority to tell a student or a family they don't have a right to drive to school anymore.
So, okay, wonderful. That's good.
We have, when we do get complaints, we do contact the family and say, hey, there was a concern about your kid today. We do let them know, those things and pass that along to families. And if it's repeat stuff, I know we've worked with Joyce, in the past, and she's gone and sat in certain spots and tried to work with the kids. And Brian's in the same thing. If we know a kid, they'll go visit with them individually or visit with their families.
So Raymond, do you guys have, I don't usually drive on Thielsen there, if it's still called Thielsen from the school, I don't know. But anyway, from the folks leaving the parking lot, crossing that road, is there issues with people crossing in front of cars that are trying to drop off and that kind of thing? Or are they actually being decent about it and being safe? Or, I mean, it's behavior. I mean, it's hard to.
Yeah, so since the issue that we had last year a lot was when the parking lot was a drive-through. And if you haven't been over there, the parking lot's not a drive-through.
It's not. No.
Correct.
Mhm.
So when the parking lot was the drive-through, we were asking people to pull through. We had cones setting there, stop there where the crosswalk was that's on Thielsen. Stop there, let your kids off. They would walk through the parking lot and then walk across the crosswalk and then into the school. The problem was you have kids then coming out from behind cars. You could see it most of the time, but you're still coming out from a parking lot to a crosswalk. You had people that would just stop in the middle of the crosswalk and let their kids out. You'd have people who would go just past the crosswalk, U-turn at the end of the parking lot, come back, pull into the handicap spots and let people out. And the biggest problem was you just had a lot of congestion at that spot because you had 3 different types of people dropping off all at once. So the change that we had was to try to direct all the traffic one direction coming there. And if you have all the traffic, if we can, to the best of our ability, coming one direction, you've now reduced a lot of it. You're still going to have some coming into the parking lot and parking, but they're hopefully going straight into the parking lot, and then you have students crossing there. Or people in the main parking lot crossing at that crosswalk, and the rest of them getting dropped off on the same side of the school going right in the building.
So are people using that crosswalk that's directly in front of the school, or are they
They do.
crossing all over?
No, for the most part, they do a pretty dang good job of using that crosswalk and coming in, because we have those concrete pylons that are all there.
Right.
And so it kind of funnels them there, and that's where they got to go in the building anyway.
Right.
So for the most part, do you have some that park on either end of the parking lot that cross at those spots? You do. But for the most part, they're pretty good about it. And
I
he's
just-
standing out there morning telling, hey, get the crosswalk. He does.
Well, and the reason I ask is I don't know if, we talked about, the council's kind of talked about signage or lights or, things like that. And you have these crosswalks, and you could put potentially, I'm not saying this is a good idea or a bad idea, but you could put a crosswalk signs and flashing light like Stanfield has
Like the
on.
little blinky things.
Yeah, you push the button to cross or whatever, and the lights flash, and so it's one more thing to maybe
I think
bring awareness to it if it needs to be. That's the
And I don't know
question.
what Brian's thoughts are, but if we're gonna do lights and school zone lights, I think my biggest thought is need for those is on Jerome. To get people just to slow down as they're coming from Pendleton down Jerome that
And
direction.
coming into Thielsen, when there's not all piled up at the intersection, they fly down from the stop sign down. So
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing, Raymond, was the blinking lights on the school zones. Scott's crew has recently put out the trees around the school zone signs, so you can see them for several hundred yards now versus 5 feet. And I think we could do that.
guys. Hey. Hey,
Hey, Andrew, we can hear you.
Hey, so I was on that thought of Jerome going out of town towards Pendleton. I personally, and from the people that I've talked to, feel like it would make sense if people were doing the speed limit, the school zone limit of 20 miles an hour by the time they get to the golf course road. And they're coming down into Echo doing 20 miles an hour, during school hours. That's what makes the most sense to me, because there are a lot of kids that walk up and down Jerome that way. And so some lights, if there aren't already up going out of town that way, would really inform the folks that are used to the traffic flowing through town. It would get them help them acknowledge the fact that there's a school zone ahead, rather than them coming right down to the canal and being like, oh crap, there's a bunch of kids all over the place, I need to slow down. Yeah, there might be a school zone sign, but having the flashing lights, I think would make a big difference to try and get them to down to 20 miles an hour by the time they get to about the golf course.